We're back in Lima, Peru. We're so pumped to be back here. And is this city still safe? Well, there's a lot of questions right now about Lima for those people who have been here for a while. Is this city still safe? Well, I'm going to answer that question and a whole bunch of other things today in this video, such as prices of apartments, prices to eat and dine out. Where are the gyms and how much do the gyms cost? What can you do in this city? And a lot more of those questions I will answer in this video. We're right now outside. Of course, I'm with my girlfriend, Almides.
Hello.
I love it. And so she's with me. Of course, she's with me through all of my travels. And right now, we're about to get a coffee at Container Cafe. Let me zoom up for you guys here. We're going to be getting a coffee. Then we're going to meet up with a bunch of friends, and we're doing a free museum tour today. Something a little bit outside of our norm, so we're going to be doing that. And also, I'm going to show you some clips of our workout that we're going to do tomorrow. Let's get it, gang. All right there, gang. We're in the Centro Historico in Lima. And one of the most common questions that you guys ask is, how much do things cost? How much things cost there? So I'm going to start off with some basic prices. I'm going to make a comparison. Peru, food and restaurants are right around the same price that you'll pay in most of Colombia. But I will tell you this, the quality that you're going to get for food in the grocery stores, in the markets, and in restaurants is higher than that in Colombia. So if you've ever been to Colombia, it's that level of pricing, maybe 5-10 cents on the dollar, a little bit more in some cases. I think meat is a little bit more expensive in Peru than in Colombia, but like I said, the quality is amazing. So look at the central here. This is absolutely beautiful. So when you're going to a restaurant here, for a restaurant, you can pay as little as $7, $6-7 US at a hole-in-the-wall spot, which are my favorite spot, and you could pay as much as $20, $30, $40 US for a nice meal. But really, you have to search to find those type of restaurants. Most of the restaurants here in Lima are much more affordable than that. And then the other thing that you guys ask is how much do apartments cost? Now, I did address that in a little clip I recorded a little bit earlier, so I'll show you guys that. So I bet you guys are probably wondering about apartment rentals here in Lima, Peru. And the truth is, I'm actually not the best guy to ask, but I'm going to give you as much guidance as possible. I have a friend here that owns his own condo, this condo that we're currently staying in here in Lima. And this is not our first time in this condo. We were here last year as well. It is not on Airbnb. He is not renting it to the general public. So we actually haven't stayed in hotels. We haven't stayed in Airbnb. But I will say this. We have looked on Airbnb and the prices seem to be about the same that you're going to pay. Like if you're looking at Barranco or Miraflores, you're looking at pretty much the same prices you're going to pay in the better areas in Colombia and that kind of price range. So we're talking about anywhere from, $1,500 to $2,000 USD for like a nice apartment with a couple bedrooms. So that's kind of the price range you're looking for. Sure, you guys could find something for a lot cheaper in certain neighborhoods, especially if you're staying long term. But if you are staying like a week or something like that, I recommend just going on Airbnb. It's easier. You don't have to worry about the headaches. But if you're planning to stay here for a longer period of time, definitely I recommend looking around and going on other sites, asking around in person. What we've done before in the past in different countries is we've actually rented an Airbnb for like a week, and then we've kind of just gone out on foot and started asking around, looking at the signs, literally walking, like going to nice neighborhoods and just walking into nice buildings and asking the reception or the concierge, like, are there apartments available for short-term rent? And so that's what I usually recommend doing it. Sure, it's a little bit more work, but you really save money if you're going to stay for a longer period of time. There's also other ways you can look at different sites online and stuff like that. But check this out, guys. This is our view from our balcony here. And we are at literally the very last street on Miraflores before it turns into a neighborhood called Surquillo. Yeah, and that's our view. Now, if it wasn't obvious, I'm passionate about food. I like to eat healthy. If you don't know me, my name is Jonathan Els. Thanks for joining this channel. This is my kind of where I show you different parts of my life. I am a personal trainer and nutrition coach, and that is what I do and have done professionally for well, moving on 15 years now. So eating healthy is important. And if you want to eat healthy, eating healthy in Peru is so easy, and the quality and taste of the food is incredible. Like, I'm not playing with you. It is arguably the best in all of Latin America. You would never think. I put it top 5 in the world in terms of quality and taste of the food. It is really good. Something as simple as just going to a cafe and getting a sandwich, you might be blown away. It just might be the best sandwich you've had in years. That's how good it is. So food, if you want to eat healthy, if you want to eat clean, whatever you call it, this is a good spot to do so. Also, if you want to eat, like I'm just in front of a little cafe here. But like if you want to have little cakes and stuff like that, you can get that stuff here too. So what's the deal with transportation, things like taxis and Uber here in Lima? Well, it's really simple. It's really easy. You can literally use Uber just like you would use Uber any other place, and they're really cheap. If you want to go even cheaper than that, there's an app called InDrive, and InDrive is basically like a knockoff Uber. The cars are a little bit older, but you'll save, 4 to 5 soles, which is like anywhere between $1 and $3 every single ride, and they're typically quicker than Ubers. Ubers, what I found here in Lima already is that Ubers cancel a lot. So you get an Uber and they cancel. You get an Uber and they cancel. Sound familiar? Anyone who's been in Colombia? Anyway. The price is just about the same price as you would get in Colombia as well for those Ubers and taxis. Maybe a little bit cheaper, to be honest. Might be a little cheaper here in Peru. If we ever, go from our apartment to like the oceanfront in Miraflores or Barranco, we're looking at $2.50 to $3 Canadian, okay? So anyone who's working in US dollars, you're laughing. Really, really cheap prices. ¿Estamos emocionados para comer? ¿Qué dices? La comida de Perú es buenísimo. All right, guys, this is steak, breaded steak, and this is taku taku, which is rice and beans. So it's their version of rice and beans here in Peru. All right, guys, we finished eating and lost a couple of the gang, but the rest of us, the other 4 of us, are going to continue our travels. If you guys are curious about gyms, there are lots of different gyms. There are some boutique gyms, so you can find boutique gyms there. But what I usually recommend, guys, is get a Plan Black with SmartFit, which is so good because you can use it in any single Latin country. So if you're planning to go to Colombia or Mexico or Argentina or Chile or any of these different countries, Chile, got to correct myself, any of those different countries, you can literally use SmartFit Plan Black in any country, and it's less than like maximum $35 in some countries. If you buy it here in Peru, it's going to be between $25 and $30 US at the time of recording this video. So that's for the Plan Black. You can also just get like a month membership there, or a month membership there is like, I don't know, it's cheap. It's cheap, guys. So if you're here just for like a month or something like that, then you can definitely do that. And if you want to stay away from the big box gyms and you don't like the crowds, there are a bunch of boutique gyms, but I cannot speak on the cost of those boutique gyms. I'm assuming they're going to be around the same price. Overall, it's really affordable. So all through the central area here, Centro Historico, there's a lot of different stores, little restaurants, and there's a lot of museums. And we just walked through one, but there's a lot of different museums that we can take a look at. So if you're looking at that kind of stuff, that kind of is up your alley here.
Ya. Una porción nomás.
Eso sí se ve muy frito.
¿Qué piensas?
Es delicioso. Pruébalo.
¿Delicioso?
Sí.
¿Crees que nos va a gustar? Sí.
Pareja, pasita racha, te escucha, mi hermano.
This is called a deficit reverse lunge or a front foot elevated reverse lunge. And it's one of my leg day staples, and it's in my program at least half the year. And I've actually progressed it recently to a higher step. What's going on, guys? Here in Lima, Peru at Smart Fit in Surquillo. And one of the exercises that a lot of you guys aren't doing in your leg workouts are lunges. Now, there's no rule that you need to do lunges, but by far and large, people skip lunges and they do a lot of leg press, leg extensions, hand curls, squats, maybe some deadlifts. But honestly, I truly believe that lunges are the best leg exercise there is. Number one, they're a split stance, or you could do them completely unilateral, which means in the case like a Bulgarian split squat where it's all on one leg. Unilateral means one limb. So you can do it all one limb, you can do it split stance. I think because of that, they're one of the most underrated, if not the best leg exercise there is. And I'm always doing this reverse, the reverse lunge like I just showed you guys, where I'm stepping back from the step. Now I'm doing this off a higher step right now, but the reason I'm doing this and not a Bulgarian split squat, which is really trendy and popular right now, is because this one is more friendly for my Achilles tendon. And my Achilles tendon has been an issue for about 3 years now. Male ego, I'm not gonna talk about it. But this is more friendly for the Achilles tendon. It's also more friendly for those of you who have knee problems. So if you have knee problems, a reverse stepping lunge is gonna be more friendly. Maybe not off a high step like this, just do it like this on flat surface. Start here on a flat surface. It's gonna be a lot more knee friendly than a forward walking lunge, a forward stepping lunge, or even a Bulgarian split squat. We're just about at sunset here in Lima, Peru, and there's been a lot of mist today, so you can't really see, or fog if you prefer, in this area, so you can't really see the sunset, but the sunsets in Lima are really nice. Now, you may have also noticed something else. It's not the same day. This is 2 days later. My girlfriend Almides and I just got back from the gym, and I would say, you know what? I gotta top off. I gotta finish up this video. I gotta do this properly because there's still a couple things that I really need to address with you guys. One of the things that's really important that you guys are probably wondering about is Wi-Fi and like co-working spaces. And because Lima is a big city of 11 something million people, you definitely have a lot of co-working spaces. I haven't been to any because I have ADHD and I can't work when there's other people around. Like I literally have to lock myself in a 4x4 room where I can't hear anything, see anything. Like that's the way I have to work. Even in university, I couldn't work at the library unless I rented one of those private rooms where you could shut the door and work alone on a desk. And all you have is 4 white walls and a brown old desk with a million people carved things into the desk. Yeah, that kind of studying, that kind of focus. That's what I have to do to work. So I don't work in co-working. But if you are the co-working type, there are tons of co-working here. There's tons of them, especially in Miraflores and Barranco. You're gonna find that all over the place. Cafes, there's tons of cafes. Now I will tell you this, the Wi-Fi is hit and miss in cafes, okay? Sometimes it's down, sometimes it's not working. Fiber op Wi-Fi is normal in Lima, so you're gonna get fiber op. The problem is, our fiber op here is about 20 megabytes download. Okay, so it's not super fast Wi-Fi. For instance, all of my stuff with my big files, like for YouTube, backing up all my Instagram and like all my big files, I can't do it here. I pretty much can't do it here. So I'm really looking forward to getting back to a different country that we've been before, getting back there because I know they have super strong Wi-Fi. Now, last but definitely not least, how is the safety here in Lima, Peru? I gotta be honest with you guys. If you haven't seen my video about getting robbed, that sucked. It was more a loss of money and time than anything, but it still sucked. We still kind of get angry around motos. It's kind of like, freaking motos. Like, they're so annoying. Like, for instance, coming back from the gym today, a guy on a moto pointed directly at my girlfriend and like said a bunch of things. And neither my girlfriend or I could understand what he was saying, but by the look on his face, we knew it was kind of disrespectful. He was, you know, saying something to her. Anyway, so just little shit like that, like the motos and that atmosphere. I will say this. Even before I got here, people I talked to in the city said since last year when we were here, and it was like a bubble of safety and everything, it was great. But since last year, things have gotten worse. There has been a lot of immigration from specific northern South American countries with dictatorships that have brought a lot of criminals here. And because of those immigrations and because of a bunch of other factors, it's getting a little bit more, I wouldn't say it's dangerous. It's still a hell of a lot safer than I feel in, you know, Nicaragua, Colombia, and even like certain parts of the Dominican Republic, like in Santo Domingo, for instance. But it's not the safe haven bubble that it felt like last year. It definitely isn't. That kind of veil has been lifted. You know, everyone says it every time we mention the robbery to the nomads, to the remote workers, to the locals that we met in these nomad events. They're talking about how even locals are getting robbed in the park, people getting held at gunpoint with their families, crazy shit like that. And so it's been happening to even to locals. One of the guys that we met 2 weekends ago in one of the nomad events, he said that a guy tried to swipe his phone right in the middle of Miraflores, right on one of the main one of the main roads. He was walking and texting, and the guy tried to swipe his phone. He moved his phone out of the way, luckily. But just telling you guys that they're not just targeting tourists. The crime in general has gone up. There's more poor people, there's more desperate people, and there's more immigrants. And a combination of those things with some political stuff that I don't fully understand yet, this city is a little bit more high on the petty theft line of things. Also on the chances of you getting held at knife or gunpoint apparently are higher than they used to be. Luckily, that didn't happen to me. That didn't happen to us. And we can still enjoy this absolutely beautiful, beautiful city. But overall, my thoughts on Lima, guys. Amazing, beautiful city, very unique city, very, very easy to live with climate, a little bit fresh, a little bit chilly most of the year, but in a very comfortable summer. Amazing food, in my opinion, top 5 in the world and top in Latin America. Near Colombia or Colombia-esque prices, so near Colombia prices. A high quality of living when you were living in like Barranco, Miraflores, these communities. Absolutely beautiful waterfront, cheap and really, really easy transportation. Like I'm talking like, you know, $1.50 Ubers and stuff like that. Like it is very, very economical. You get a high value for what you pay here. And overall, it still is one of the safer, huge Latin cities. You got to think of the size of these cities. Like to have a city this big and this safe, even in Canada, you know, it rivals it. It rivals the safety. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to sign off. I've already been chatting way too much. Make sure you hit that subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Let's get it.